हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एजुकेटर्स प्लस। और आज की वीडियो में हम लोग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक को डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। दीज आर सम ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एनवायरमेंट कन्वेंशंस जो प्रीवियस ईयर्स में हुई हैं। सो वी विल बी बेसिकली डिस्कसिंग अबाउट अराउंड 20 to 21 एनवायरमेंटल कन्वेंशंस एंड दीज आर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कन्वेंशन जिनसे आपके प्रीवियस ईयर में क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं, राइट। सो बेसिकली इस वीडियो में हम लोग सिर्फ उनका ब्रीफ जानेंगे दैट व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द कन्वेंशन, वो किस चीज के ऊपर हुई थी, व्हाट वाज इट्स मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव और एम्स एंड कौन सा ईयर था। सो क्योंकि ज्यादातर क्वेश्चंस डायरेक्ट होते हैं, फैक्चुअल बेस्ड होते हैं जब कन्वेंशन से आते हैं, सो दैट इज द डिमांड ऑफ द पेपर। सो हेंस वी विल बी कवरिंग मोस्ट ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट कन्वेंशंस इन दिस पर्टिकुलर वीडियो। So yes, before starting with the topic, I would like to inform you guys that एजुकेटर्स प्लस की गूगल प्ले पे ऐप अवेलेबल है। सो इफ यू वांट आप जाके ऐप को डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। वहां आपको पेड कोर्सेज मिलेंगे जिसमें वीडियोज एंड लाइव सेशंस हैं। ई बुक्स अवेलेबल हैं सारे टॉपिक्स के ऊपर, बोथ इन हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश मीडियम। मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज प्रोवाइड की जा रही है, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन सीबीटी मोड एंड सेम एनटीए रेप्लिका पैटर्न। कंप्लीट स्टडी मटेरियल को प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा है बेस्ड ऑन न्यू पैटर्न एंड ऑल्सो लाइव इंटरेक्टिव सेशंस हैं ताकि आप अपने डाउट क्लियर कर सको। एंड ऑल्सो फॉर मोर डिटेल्स यू कैन ऑलवेज चेक द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स ऑफ द वीडियो। So yes, now let's start with the session. So the first one that we will be discussing is the Ramsar Convention. So Ramsar Convention is also called as the Convention on Wetlands, and it was adopted in the city of Iran, Ramsar, in the year 1971, and it came into force in the year 1975. So yes, this was some brief about the Ramsar Convention. Then the next is the Stockholm Convention. So Stockholm Convention is a convention on persistent organic pollutants, that is POPs, and it was adopted in the year 2001 in Geneva, Switzerland, and it came into force in the year 2004. And further, all these conventions will be discussed in detail in our upcoming videos. So do subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. And further, the next is CITES, that is, it is a convention on international trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora. इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था in the year 1963 and it came into force in the year 1975. Then the next is Convention on Biological Diversity, that is CBD. Now this is a convention for the conservation of biological diversity, as you can see by the name itself, and it was adopted in the year 1992 and it came into force in the year 1993. Then the next is the Bonn Convention. So basically this is a convention on the conservation of migratory species of wild animals, and it was adopted in the year 1979 and it came into force in the year 1983. Then the next is the Vienna Convention. जो Vienna Convention थी, that is a convention for the protection of the ozone layer. इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था 1985 में and it came into the force in the year 1988. Then the next is Montreal Protocol. So Montreal Protocol जो है वो एक इंटरनेशनल एनवायरनमेंट प्रोटोकॉल है ऑन सब्सटेंसेस जो डिप्लीट करते हैं ओजोन लेयर को। इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था 1987 में and it came into the force in the year 1989. Then the next is Kyoto Protocol. So Kyoto Protocol is again one of the important and इसमें से most frequently question आता है. So Kyoto Protocol is also an international protocol to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So you should know that it is related to greenhouse gases emissions. And इसको adopt किया गया था in the year 1997 and it came into the force in the year 2005. So questions have come from all these 3 points. See Montreal Protocol. So questions have come from all these 3 points that Kyoto Protocol किस से related है, that is it is related for the reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions, कब adopt किया गया and in which year it came into force. Then the next is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So basically it is an international environmental treaty governing actions to combat climate change through adaptations and mitigation efforts directed at control of emissions of greenhouse gases that cause global warming. And it was adopted in the year 1992 and it came into the force in the year 1994. So now the next is the Rio Summit. So it is the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development and इसको Earth Summit के नाम से भी जाना जाता है. It was held in 1992 at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. UNCCD, that is United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. Now ये जो convention थी इसको adopt किया गया था in the year 1994 and it came into the force in the year 1996. Then the next is Basal Convention. So Basal Convention is basically a convention on the control of transboundary movements of hazardous waste and their disposal. And it was adopted in the year 1989 and it came into the force in the year 1992. Then the next is the Cartagena Protocol. So basically it is an international environmental protocol on biosafety to the Convention on Biological Diversity. And इसको adopt किया गया था in the year 2000 and it came into the force in the year 2003. Then the next is UNREDD. So that is United Nations Program on reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. Now basically this was created in the year 2008. Then the next is the Nagoya Protocol. So Nagoya Protocol is basically an international environmental protocol on access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the utilizations to the Convention on Biological Diversity. So basically it was adopted in the year 2010 and it came into the force in the year 2014. Then the next is Kigali Agreement. So it is an amendment to the Montreal Protocol and इसको adopt किया गया था 2016 में and it came into the force in the year 2019. Then the next is Minamata Convention. So basically it is an international environment treaty intended to protect health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. And it was adopted in the year 2013 and it came into the force in the year 2017. Further, the next is the Rotterdam Convention. So Rotterdam Convention is an international environmental convention on prior informed consent procedure for certain hazardous chemicals and pesticides in international trade. And it was adopted in the year 1998 and it came into the force in the year 2004. So yes, these were some important international conventions that are related to environment and you should know about the basic facts regarding these conventions, right? So yes, this was all for today's video. I hope you find this video helpful and relevant. Then please do subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment and stay tuned for the more upcoming videos.